Take two. Welcome candidates to the online forum for Door County Treasurer. Welcome. My name is Dan Powers. I'm the the Voter Service Forum Coordinator for the League of Women Voters of Door County. And this forum is for the candidates in the August 11 contested partisan primary race for Door County Treasurer. The top vote getter from each party will then be their party's candidate for the office of Door County Treasurer in the general election, which will occur on November 3rd, 2020. Our candidates are, as shown, Ryan Schley, Republican, Jan Arbiter Anderson as Democrat, Ashley DeGrave running as a Democrat, Lisa M. Hart as Republican, and Christine A. Moe as Republican. Thank you all candidates for running for office and agreeing to take part of this forum. The voter service is the #1 priority for the League of Women Voters. We encourage people to run for office. We hold these forums, such as this one, to help voters become better informed. More information about the League can be found on our website, League of Women Voters of Door County, League of Women Voters DoorCounty.org, and on the League's Facebook page. As an organization, the League of Women Voters never endorses a candidate or a party. However, we are directly involved in shaping the important issues that keep our community strong. The views you'll hear tonight are those of the candidates for this forum. They are not the views of the League of Women Voters of Door County, and our sponsorship of the forum is not an endorsement of any candidate. All candidates have agreed in advance to the format of this forum. The order of speaking was determined by who took their filing papers out first. The order of speaking will then be rotated, assuring each candidate will have a chance to be first to respond. Candidates, we've already gone over the fact that when time is up, I will signal you with when you have 30 seconds left, I will use that. And then when your 2 minutes is up, I'll say time. And please just finish whatever sentence you might be in the middle of and stop at that point. And now I'll turn it over to our moderator tonight, Pat Ciesinski.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pat Ciesinski. I'm the chair of the League of Women Voters Door County leadership team. This session is a forum, not a debate. Candidates will introduce themselves in 2-minute opening statements. Candidates will be given 2 minutes to answer each question. Each question will be posed to all candidates. However, a candidate may decline to answer any question. The questions for this forum were submitted from League of Women Voter Door County members. They were screened to eliminate redundancies. All questions will be made available to the candidates after the forum. A timekeeper will signal when you have 30 seconds remaining in your response, and again when it is time to stop. Thank you for stopping when signaled to do so. We will ask questions for no more than an hour. Candidates will then have 5 minutes to elaborate on any issue during their closing remarks. We'll now begin the forum with candidates making their 2-minute introductory remarks. The first person to make introductory remarks is Ryan Schley.
Hello, thank you for putting on this forum. My name is Ryan Schley, and I'm running for the Door County Treasurer as a Republican. Currently, I'm working in the Treasurer's office side by side with Jay Zahn for the last 3.5 years. Prior to that, I worked for a door manufacturer in Algoma while I was going to school full-time, pursuing my bachelor's degree in accounting, which, this is new to me, so bear with me. While this job has taught me a lot about the ins and outs of the office, I feel that I am a very strong candidate for the position. I work, like I said, with Jay for the last 3.5 years. I know how to operate the system as well as the ins and outs of the office. Thank you.
The next candidate to have 2 minutes for opening remarks is Ashley DeGrave.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for inviting me and coordinating this forum.
Ashley, you became muted.
Sorry.
There you go.
I love
Go
technology.
ahead and start over.
It's great until it's not.
Right.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll try one more time. Okay, so good evening. Thank you for inviting me and coordinating this forum. My name is Ashley DeGrave, and I am running as one of the candidates for Door County Treasurer. I grew up in Nassau-Waupee. I'm currently married to Travis DeGrave, who grew up in the Brussels area. We both graduated from Southern Door High School, and we currently reside in Forestville. I continued my education after high school, earning my accounting degree. I've been employed with the county for the last 6 years. I was hired into the Emergency Services Department, and where I got a lot of exposure to the financial system, doing our billings, our payables, receiving payments, and preparing deposits. 2 years ago, I was hired into the Technology Services Department, which has allowed me to use my accounting degree on an almost daily basis. I manage our $1 million budget. I have reconciled large-scale capital improvement projects for not only the Technology Services Department, but departments throughout the entire county. And I also process our payables and accounts receivables, as well as many other duties on a daily basis. I have been part of several different software rollouts and upgrades, from our print tracking software, which affects all of our departments, to our phone tracking software, which also affects all of our departments. My employment prior to the county had a main focus on money management as well as customer service, which I feel would be great assets for the treasurer. I'm very excited to hopefully become your next Door County Treasurer. And again, thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself, and I look forward to the upcoming questions.
Thank you, Ashley. Next up is Lisa Hart.
Hi, thank you so much for putting this on. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I appreciate the opportunity. I am not originally from here. I was born and raised in the Bay Area, California, and joined the service out of high school. So I spent 5 years in the Air Force. I used my GI Bill when I moved here after I was married 4, and I have 2 grown children. At the time, they were 2 and 3. So I stayed home with them, and once they were in school, I used my GI Bill to go to NWTC here and get my hospitality and tourism management degree. I started working at the Best Western, moved from there over to the Super 8 as an assistant manager, and then I have been here at the American for 14 years now, come September, and 10 years of that I've been managing the hotel. I manage a staff of up to 20 to 23, 24 people, and I'm responsible for managing all aspects of it: maintenance department, our food services department, all kinds of the housekeeping department and everything. So I'm in charge of accounts receivable and group sales and deal with all of our revenue. I have to fix many errors. We've just learned another property management system, so I get to learn that and make sure the staff learns it again, and then fix anything that they, come across that might be a difficulty. I went back to school in 2017 and graduated 2018-19 with my bachelor's in integrative leadership studies from the University of Wisconsin Green Bay.
And that's time, Lisa.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I look forward to being your next treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Next, Christine Moe.
I want to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this online forum and to allow the voters to get to know the candidates. My name is Christine Moe, and I want to be the next Door County Treasurer. I was born in Sturgeon Bay and grew up in the town of Massawappi, along with my parents, 4 brothers, and 3 sisters. Our family owned and operated a farm for 50 years where I formed my strong work ethic. I attended Southern Door School and graduated in 1983 and then went on to attend NWTC. I'm a lifelong resident of Door County, living the last 25 years on Clark Lake in the town of Jacksonport. I am married to my husband, Brad, who is a retired patrol sergeant from the Door County Sheriff's Department, and we have a daughter, Kaylee, who is a 2020 Sebastopol graduate. Our family has been members of Bayview Lutheran Church since 1995. There I was actively involved as a Sunday school teacher, confirmation mentor, friend in faith, and a member of the Altar Guild. I have also been the project coordinator for the Lutheran World Relief, organizing school and personal kit collections for the last 2 years. I began my career in the private sector, performing bookkeeping and accounting. In 1987, I started working for Door County in the planning department. I later transferred to the Sheriff's Department, where I worked for 6 years. And for the last 25 years, I have worked in the Door County Real Property Listing Office. Here is where I've gained most of my knowledge that I think I could bring to the Treasurer's office. I'm running for the Treasurer as I possess the knowledge, abilities, and experience necessary to perform the duties. I will bring to the position accountability and professionalism based on my competency, integrity, and ethics. My top initiatives, if elected County Treasurer, are to examine consolidating the Treasurer-related functions within the county to improve efficiency, and to modernize the technology and procedures of the County Treasurer's office. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Christine.
Okay, at this point, I will read a statement per the League's policy that if someone is unable to participate, they can submit a statement to be read at the forum for them. So this is the statement sent in by Jane Arbiter Anderson. Reads as follows. Thank you to the Door County League of Women Voters for giving me the opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself and the reasons why I am the best candidate for the position of Door County Treasurer. This journey of life that I am on keeps getting better with age. I have done many different, interesting, and fulfilling things thus far, and I am continuing down that path by seeking election to the office of Door County Treasurer. I was born in Hawaii to Door County natives and raised in a military family, moving around the continental United States. After graduating from Sturgeon Bay High School, I joined the U.S. Army at the age of 23 and traveled around the world, learning the other side of the military as opposed to being a family member, meeting many wonderful people, and experiencing life. After getting out of the Army, I moved back to Sturgeon Bay and started my career with the County of Door 18 years ago. In 2011, I was appointed the Chief Deputy Treasurer and served in that position for 5.5 years. During my time in the Chief Deputy position, I built and had good working relationships with the 19 municipal treasurers in the county. My hope is to continue to build and keep open the communicative relationships with these individuals, with the main objective being the sharing of knowledge. After 30 years, the county implemented a new tax software program this year, which will help streamline the financial processes with the county finance departments once it is fully in place. I feel it is very important to maintain open relationships and communications so that there are no surprises or discrepancies across the board when it comes to collections and disbursements of money. The county treasurer has both statutory and non-statutory duties, is an integral part of the financial checks and balances of the county, works closely with the finance department, and is responsible for the financial end of the tax bills with the collection, distribution, settlement, and balancing of the monies collected for more than 40,000 tax bills that are generated each year. I'm currently the financial clerk at the Door County Clerk of Courts, with my greatest accomplishment thus far being the collection of over $95,000 in delinquent fines and court costs in 2019. With my financial background, my knowledge of the Treasurer's Office and the operation of the duties, financial and otherwise, I believe I am the best candidate for this position. Collecting money, be it for taxes or fines, and balancing and distributing that money to the proper entities is and has been a part of my Door County professional life since moving back here. The end results of numbers intrigue me. I have an associate degree in business with an accounting background that I have put to good use wherever I go. Utilizing my financial training, discipline, and life experiences bestowed upon me in the military, I feel I am the best qualified candidate for the Door County Treasurer. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thanks, Dan. I want to mention that Ms. Anderson's first name is Jan, not Jane, so it's Jan Archer Anderson.
Thank you, and my apologies to Jan. I'm gonna learn to read one of these days.
Yeah, we're gonna learn to do Zoom one of these days too. We will now begin the question and answer period. Question 1, the first question in the forum starts with Ashley DeGrave. Ashley, what relevant education and prior experience do you have for the position of Door County Treasurer?
I covered a little bit of that in my opening, but I will go back over it again. So I do have an accounting degree, which I think is a great help. I would say working with the large capital outlay projects with the county, some range, you know, they have to be a minimum of 50,000, but some of them have ranged up to $1 million. And I reconcile those budgets to make sure that we stay within budget and we're paying everything appropriately. I think that would be a great asset, you know, reconciling the, you know, payments and the tax bills and things like that, as well as being accountable for all of the remittances and fines and forfeitures that are due by the state statutes. I do a lot with our software renewals for not only our department, but all of the departments throughout the county. Those have very important deadlines and timelines to make sure that we're not lapsing on any of our coverages. So I think that would also be a great asset. And not to mention, I have worked for the county, you know, for 6 years, so I do have exposure. And working in the technology department, I think has helped me get exposure to a lot of different departments. And I think that from a technology aspect, that has helped me be confident that I would be able to come into that department and learn the softwares and the policies and the procedures.
Thank you. Lisa Hart, same question. What relevant education and prior experience do you have for the position of Door County Treasurer?
I feel like my managerial experience that I have for the last 10 years running this business for a private owner makes me responsible for ensuring that everything is financially sound. I get very little direction from the owners here. I see them once every 3 or 4 years, hear from them on occasion. So that leads me to believe that I must be doing a fine job. They really have not much input to do with how I've been running their business. I am very frugal on spending. I keep the staff as happy as possible here. So I'm I know that that's my biggest asset at this property. And everywhere you go, your staff is not replaceable as once upon a time people thought they were. So I have learned many different property management systems, computer systems that we need to use that are relevant to the hospitality industry. They have been changing, upgrading. I have to keep on top of learning that. We have many different formats we use, Microsoft products on a daily basis. And I feel like my bachelor's degree that I had just gained along with my management experience would assist me in making a fine candidate for treasurer.
Thank you, Lisa. Christine Moe, same question. What relevant education and prior experience do you have for the position of Door County Treasurer?
Well, for the last 25 years, I've worked in the real property listing office. My job duties are to receive the assessment data from the assessors, and I balance those amounts, which is in the amount of $7 billion. After that fact, we move on, and I go through the process of working with the municipalities to go through their open book and board of review with them. And then I prepare the statement of taxes and statement of assessment or the statement of assessment for the Department of Revenue. And then in the fall, I work with the clerks to prepare the mill rate worksheets that actually we use to calculate the taxes. And then I print and calculate and stuff 41,000 tax bills, and then help them prepare their statement of taxes that they need to prepare to the Department of Revenue. I've had some accounting classes that I've taken through NWTC to help me along the way also. And I guess that's it.
Thank you. Ryan Schley, same question. What relevant education and prior experience do you have for the position of Door County Treasurer?
Well, as I said in my opening, I do have a bachelor's degree in accounting from Lakeland University. While currently I am the chief deputy treasurer working side by side with Jay Zahn. Other than that, I have a lot of customer service experience from my prior employment as an order processor for a door manufacturer, as well as all the experience I have gained working in the treasurer's office with collecting money for tax bills, working with other departments within the county, receiving their money and getting it to the bank in a timely manner. The job is great, and I love every day. There's always something new to learn, and just taking it day by day, and hopefully I can continue gaining my experience and working with the people in the office. And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. We'll go to question 2. The first person to respond is Lisa Hart. Why do you want to be treasurer?
Thank you. Why do I want to be treasurer? I was interested in running for a political position in the past, and when this opening came up, although it's not as much political as many other positions are that you have to run for, I do want the opportunity to do something different with my life, and I have the time to devote to this position. I have no other outside responsibilities, so this could be my #1 priority. My children are grown. I do not have a husband. I have nobody else to take care of, so I have plenty of time on my hands, and I would love to be able to spend that serving the public and serving the community, especially here since I love Door County. Thank you.
Thank you. Christine Moe, why do you want to be treasurer?
I think it's just a natural progression from the last 25 years of the work that I have done. I've definitely shown that I have a really great attention to detail and do a good job of calculating the tax bills. And I think just moving on to helping with the collection and bringing my knowledge with me. I think I have the knowledge of like the statutes, the ordinances, the resolutions that are part of the position. And I just think as a whole, it's just a natural progression for me to continue in my career.
Thank you. Ryan Schley, why do you want to be treasurer?
As I've stated, I currently work in the treasurer's office and would like the opportunity for this advancement for the treasurer's position. I feel that I would make a great addition in advancing to this position. Through my work in the last 3.5 years, I feel like I've come to be a very hardworking individual and willing to accept any additional tasks that may be given to me. I really enjoy working with all the people that come in to pay their tax bills. Some of them may not be so friendly when they're late or whatever, but we always find a way to work with them and make it so it's not so hard to pay your taxes, even though we have to do it. So, thank you.
Thank you. Ashley DeGrave, why do you want to be treasurer?
I decided to run for treasurer because I think that it would be a great move and advancement for me. I have very much enjoyed my opportunities in the technology services department, and to be able to use my skills on a more regular basis than I have with any other position. And I feel like moving to the treasurer's office would expand that for me. I feel like there's a lot of attention to detail and deadlines and reconciliations and lots of processes and procedures that have to be followed. I'm excited for an opportunity to grow my skills and learn, all of the additional details that it takes to be in that position. And I would be very excited to grow and learn. And I feel like with my prior experience, I do have a lot of customer service experience as well, and money management. And I just feel like it would utilize all of my skills to the highest potential.
Thank you. We'll move on to question number 3. What personal qualities do you have that makes you a good fit for the position of treasurer? First responder will be Christine Moe.
This position requires organization, attention to detail, and multitasking, which are some of my greatest skills. I believe the position is a great fit for what I've been doing throughout my career. I've proven that I'm trustworthy, accurate, respectful to everybody that I work with. I have been, it's just very important to be accurate in dealing with the tax dollars and to make sure everything is done and calculated correctly. And just one of my most important skills is my attention to detail and to make sure that those things happen.
Thank you. Next responder will be Ryan Schley. Ryan, what personal qualities do you have that make you a good fit for the position of treasurer?
I feel I would be a good fit for treasurer because I'm very hardworking, very attentive to detail, very willing to work with people of other departments. I am very good with people. Always have a keen eye for finding that missing penny at the end of the day. So my attention to detail is probably the most important quality that I would have to make me a good fit for this position.
Thank you. Next responder will be Ashley DeGrave. Ashley, what personal qualities do you have that make you a good fit for the position of treasurer?
A couple qualities that come to mind that I think best describe me and make me a good fit. First is ambitious. I would consider myself a go-getter. I'm constantly in my current position busy, and I'm always willing to learn new things, and I don't ever want to be bored. So I always expanding my knowledge and learning more, and I've gotten into some tech things to help expand that. The next would be thorough. I always complete my tasks by their deadlines, sometimes even before. I feel that, like I said, even though I'm not a technician in the department, a lot of people will call me to help them or to make sure that their tasks or their concerns are being handled. And if I can't help them, I'll make sure somebody else can, or I'll follow through to make sure that they are taken care of. I think another quality is integrity. I feel like I have a great deal of passion in all of the things that I do, from my work to my home life and to my volunteer life. I feel good about all of the things that I've accomplished, and I take pride in the work that I do, which I think is super important for any treasurer. And the last quality would be sincerity. I think that translates a lot into being a people person. I genuinely enjoy interacting with people and building relationships and rapport. I feel I've done that with not only our coworkers, but a lot of our vendors that we deal with outside of the county. And I feel this trait would also be a great asset to the Treasurer's Department.
Thank you. And last for this question, Lisa Hart. What personal qualities do you have that make you a good fit for the position of treasurer?
Thank you. The qualities that I have that I feel make me a good fit for this, I would say tenacity to make sure that the job I'm doing gets done thoroughly and correctly. A lot of times here, again, I'm not dealing with my money. It's somebody else's business I'm running. So I take that very seriously and try to do the best job I can every single day. Make sure every deadline I have needs to be met. I have deadlines from a franchise perspective that I need to make sure the owners of the franchise also receive the information that they need on a timely basis. As being here alone, managing a group of individuals, I have to make sure things like payroll, everything else is done on time, expeditiously. Any issues that come up, I have to deal with. I'm constantly multitasking, stopping what I'm doing to help a guest out or help a staff member out. And at the end of the day, making sure I get everything that I need to do done as well. So not only does my staff know that I can help them and assist them and do anything that they can do, they can't do what I can do. So constantly helping them. So having to learn things new every single day, and that is a great thing. I love learning things, so I don't feel like I would have any problem learning a new system. I've done it every time I go to a new job. So I do love learning technology and mastering it, overcoming it. And I think my honesty too. If my owners had issues with me, they would be down here all the time checking on me. And the last time I think I saw them was 3 years ago. So I think I'm doing a great job for them. Thank you.
Thank you. We will go to the next question, question number 4. The first person to respond is Ryan Schley. Ryan, what would excellent customer service look like in the treasurer's office?
Excellent customer service would obviously be greeting them as soon as they walk in the door, making sure that all their questions are answered, whether it's in the office or via phone call or email. Always being kind and courteous to the individuals. Like I stated before, nobody likes paying taxes, so sometimes it's harder for individuals than others. And you just have to keep that in mind, that paying taxes might not be as easy for some as it is for others. So you just have to work with them and be kind and courteous, and usually you'd never have any issues with that.
Thank you. Next responder, Ashley DeGrave. What would excellent customer service look like in the treasurer's office?
I think that making sure that, you know, we're treating every customer with the utmost respect, and like Ryan said, greeting everybody as soon as they come in, and, you know, responding and helping everyone with any questions that they might have, and making sure that we're accommodating people as the best that we can. I know that there are rules and regulations in place as far as, you know, people paying their taxes, or properties potentially being taken away. But anything that we can do to make that process easier or help them avoid that process, I think is part of the responsibility of that office. And just giving people as enjoyable of an experience as they can be when they're, you know, handing over a lot of their hard-earned dollars. And that's a hard thing for people. So, you know, just being friendly with them, and making conversation with them, I think goes a long way with people, and building rapport. You know, you're going to be seeing these people on a yearly basis, or hearing from them on a yearly basis. So, you know, building up that rapport with them so that they feel comfortable, you know, with you, and vice versa, I think is really important.
Thank you. Next responder is Lisa Hart. What would excellent customer service look like in the treasurer's office?
Thank you. I am used to delivering exceptional service as years of working at the front desk and with the public. Making sure individuals are treated as you would like to be treated, giving them courtesy, the time that they need, making sure that you get back to them in a timely fashion with any questions that they may have. In a professional capacity, making sure that they understand that you know that you value them and their hard work that they put into in their homes. And respecting that, yes, they do have to pay a lot of money for their homes, their businesses that they have here, to be a resident in the county, and respecting that and appreciating that of each and every one of them, whether they're seasonal or they're a year-round resident here. Making sure the staff that are around me also treats everybody with the same dignity and respect that I expect to be treated with, just like anybody else would be. Making sure phone calls are answered in a timely fashion and people are not put on hold for an extreme amount of time. Calls are gotten back to, emails are responded to immediately. And I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Christine Moe, what would excellent customer service look like in the treasurer's office?
You need to have good communication and interpersonal skills. You're not only dealing with taxpayers, you're also dealing with the local clerks and treasurers, other offices within the county building, other people within the local governments, the state offices. They need to feel that you are capable of your position, that you give them respect. For the taxpayers, that you show them compassion if they're having difficulty paying their tax bills, and try to work with them to do a payment plan or whatever you could do to help them find other resources to help them. And you need to be able to resolve issues and make a decision whether something is wrong. Just make a decision and decide what the best plan of action should be.
Thank you. We will go to question 5. The first responder will be Ashley DeGrave. Are there systems, tools, or procedures that you would implement to improve efficiency in the Office of Treasurer?
I think at this time, with this opportunity for you know, this election and getting somebody in there, not necessarily new because Brian is in there, but you know, this change allows us to evaluate the policies and procedures that are in place and review all of those statutes, both state and non, and make sure that we are doing everything that we should be doing, and at the highest level. You know, we need to be conscious of the tax dollars that we, you know, of the taxpayers' tax dollars, because we are working for them. So I think that really just coming in and evaluating all of those things, evaluating your staffing needs and evaluating, our policies and procedures and technology, and making sure that we are doing things in the best way possible. So I don't have any specific things off the top of my head, but I think it would be, beneficial if you looked at all of that stuff. I think that we wouldn't be doing our due diligence if we didn't.
Thank you, Ashley. Next responder will be Lisa Hart. Are there systems, tools, or procedures that you would implement to improve efficiency in the Office of Treasurer?
As I am unaware of the systems and procedures that they have implemented there, since I haven't worked in the capacity of a treasurer, a clerk, or anything else in the county system, I would definitely have to do just like Ashley said, and take a good look at everything that's going on, see what procedures are already in place that would be fine. If there's procedures that need to be updated, upgraded, maybe systems. It sounds like they just got a new computer software system in there. So that definitely would probably not need to be changed. But definitely looking into the way customer service is handled, if there's anything that needs to be updated. Times change. People are into getting texts now, so that may be something that might need to be looked into, and making texting responses more immediate for people. So again, you would have to just take a look at what's going on in the system, the procedures, the policies, especially with COVID going on. Has everything been done that can be done to make sure people, co-workers are being kept safe during this whole time? So thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Next responder will be Christine Moe. Are there systems, tools, or procedures that you would implement to improve efficiency in the Office of Treasurer?
Well, like it was said, this year we did implement a new software package. It has helped a lot with all the data that needs to be kept track of. There was no manual for the program, so I attempted to contact other treasurers throughout the state and created a manual to help with that. I also helped initiate, there was a part of the program that was not offered to us that did a refund to taxpayers that had an overpayment. This is a big time waste of county time to manage that aspect. So that'll be a big time saver this year. Also, this year on the tax bill, I will be putting in place a barcode. So instead of having to type in the information into the computer system, they will be able to use a handheld scanner to scan the barcode on the tax bill and take payments right from there. And I think all those things will greatly improve. I also I would like to update the treasurer's website to provide more information to the taxpayer. This year with the new system, things like you now can see things like if you have a lottery credit on your property, that is all available right on the website now, which is a big improvement over what we did have.
Thank you, Christine. Ryan Schley, question number 5. Are there systems, tools, or procedures that you would implement to improve the efficiency in the Office of the Treasurer?
As you know, I do currently work in the treasurer's office. We have implemented a new tax collection system this year. As of right now, we are kind of working our way through how to do all the steps, procedures. We were on the old system for so long that it's always hard to switch to a new one. But we are working through all the issues that we have. We do have other treasurers that we have been asking questions on how to do certain things that, let's say, are only done once a year. That obviously the last time we did it, it was in the old system. So we are trying to implement new procedures on how to do these new tasks in the new system. I mean, like we said, we just implemented it a few months ago, so it's a work in progress, but hopefully whether the new treasurer and myself or we can work together and hopefully get it running like a well-oiled machine. Other than that, I think there are some other things that could be improved upon as far as how they are done. But with the new system, hopefully those will be done a little easier than they were in the past.
Thank you, Ryan. We'll move on to question number 6. Lisa Hart will be the first to respond. What will you need to do to get up to speed and keep up to date with the implementation of the new tax collection system?
Thank you. Well, I would need to learn the new system first off, and continuing learning as much as I can about the system. And I guess looking at information from other people who are using the system to see what they have learned for it as well. Going into history, doing some research about it. That would be as much as and using the system just to learn it.
Thank you. Next responder, Christine Moe. What will you need to do to get up to speed and keep up to date with the implementation of the new tax collection system?
Since I'm also using the same system on the other side to do the entries of the tax payers' names, addresses, legal descriptions, the assessment values, that whole aspect of the data that is available and in there, I'm already familiar with that. I attended all the trainings with the treasurer's office to learn their aspect side of it. And then also I contacted the county treasurers throughout the state and created a user's manual as best as I could for what I knew. And I've been trying to learn the different settlement information and the different rules and regulations that are required for that. But every day I try to look at it and take a look at things that we can use to further and help progress their office.
Thank you. Ryan Schley. What will you need to do to get up to speed and keep up to date with the implementation of the new tax collection system?
This is where I feel like I might have a slight advantage, seeing I work in it every day. So up to speed, I feel like would be pretty easy, seeing as how I use it every day. To keep up to date, I always try to explore into a new menu every day, just trying to familiarize myself with all the aspects that the system can do. We are trying to create step-by-step guides, expanding on what Chris has already created for us prior to the implementation of the system, through working with other counties, working at what we work with on a daily basis. And we're just trying to find the most efficient ways to complete our jobs and get all the appropriate reports printed for other departments like finance for what they need to record on a daily basis, and just working with other people, whether it's within our county or other counties, to find the best ways possible to do things.
Thank you, Ryan. Ashley DeGrave. What will you need to do to get up to speed and keep up to date with the implementation of the new tax collection system?
Although I don't have the direct exposure to the program like Chris and Ryan, I do feel like working in the technology services department would make me learning the software a little bit easier. I've gained a lot of knowledge being in the department, so I think that being able to pick up on the software would be easier. I would probably explore what information and opportunities the company themselves has. Maybe they, have some videos or things that you can watch to gain knowledge. I would hope that resources within the county would also be willing to help, the candidates learn as well. I think that we're all, employees of the county and we're all taxpayers. So we should all be able to work together in a great fashion to learn and grow. Since the software is new, I think also it's important to make sure that we're on email listings with the company to make sure that if there are any new updates or new features that we're being notified of those things, because you want the system to work for you as best as possible, and you don't necessarily know all the capabilities or changes that they have unless they're telling you. And then I think, again, because it's new, I think it would be an interesting concept to have maybe quarterly meetings for the first year or two to discuss any issues that you're having, just to make sure that you're covering everything and going back to the company and making sure that everything is working as smoothly as possible.
Thank you. We will move on to question 7. How are we doing for time, Dan?
I just got my stopwatch. I don't have my regular.
Oh, all right. Well, it looks like it's
You don't
10
have the
to
clock
7.
there? Well, I can say 6:50.
7.
I've got 6:51.
Thank you. The
And
first
candidates,
person-
there's 2 more. We're on 7. There are 9 questions.
Okay. Hopefully we can get through them all. The first responder will be Christine Moe. Is there any practice you would develop to improve the treasurer's tax collection efforts?
Well, like Ryan said, with the new system, we need to put in place a whole new set of practices because the whole entry process into the system is different this year. Like I said, also I initiated the refund software part of the package so that the refunds will be done automatically and in a much more timely fashion. Hopefully with the new barcodes, it'll make it easier and quicker to process the payments, and things like mortgage companies that have large amounts. I believe there's a portion of the software package that allows us to do that in an Excel format that we can send to them and make that also a quicker, easier process. And just, trying to just be more efficient and make the whole system work for us and be able to just handle it that way.
Thank you. Ryan Schley, is there any practice you would develop to improve the treasurer's tax collection efforts?
With the new system, we're continuing to learn the best way to do tax collection. With the new bills being generated out of the new system come this fall, we should, like Chris said, have the barcodes, which should improve accuracy of applying payments to the right parcels, not missing any for a certain individual. There are searches within the collection module that allow us to search by, let's say, owner's name or address, where in our old system we could only search by bill or parcel number to enter a payment. So that's definitely improved our collection efforts. But other than that, I mean, collection is pretty straightforward. So the how do I put this? How we do it is pretty straightforward, but there are always ways to improve on our efficiency of how we process mail payments and how we do like prioritize the payments when they come in at the end of the year, and how to make sure we get everything in on time so that we don't miss any, which would be very important to the office.
Thank you. Ashley DeGrave, is there any practice you would develop to improve the treasurer's tax collection efforts?
I think that would be a really interesting thing to evaluate after we get a full year cycle in with the new software, and being able to see the things that you do and don't like with it and evaluating it from that aspect. I do think that's something that needs to be on the forefront of things is knowing that our world in general is becoming so much less, checks and cash and more cards. I know that cards are accepted, but just evaluating that we're offering the taxpayers the best solution to do that and the easiest solution, I think is important, because so many people nowadays want to pay that way. So I think that would be an interesting thing to look at. I also think it would be helpful to discuss with maybe some of the larger counties and see what their processes are, and if there's anything that we can pick up from them. I believe the Wisconsin County Treasurers Association, is a good group of people where you can learn what other people are doing and do things, change things. And I'm a firm believer in, we don't need to make mistakes twice. So if somebody's already tried something and it doesn't work, then we should, not do that route. So I think having a good relationship with other counties and, that will help us put some new things into place or change things or not at all.
Thank you, Ashley. Lisa Hart, is there any practice you would develop to improve the treasurer's tax collection efforts?
Well, since I'm not familiar with the systems that we have there, I would have to look into that and do some research, see if there is anything that would help improve collecting taxes. I do feel like what Ashley was talking about, using cards to make payments, would be something that would need to be looked at if that isn't already something that is being used. There is a generation coming up now or two that don't have checks, so they don't know how to write out a check. So using the cards would be something that would be very easy for them to do, and something that they would feel comfortable in doing. So that would have to be something that would be researched and see if that would be frugal or prudent to do.
Thank you. We will move to question 8. First responder will be Ryan Schley. Ryan, the treasurer's position has many facets. What do you think are the most important?
Through my current position with the treasurer's office, I would say just timely processing of tax payments is very important, as well as getting accuracy in your deposits of those payments, as well as accuracy of other departments' deposits. Being an accounting background, accuracy and attention to detail is very important to me, as well as it should be in the treasurer's position. Being on that, having a penny off is never a good thing in an accountant's mind. So you always want to have the greatest attention to detail and accuracy as possible.
Thank you. Ashley DeGrave, the treasurer's position has many facets. What do you think are the most important?
I think that since a lot of what comes out of that office is governed by state statutes, I think that, the accountability and stability are super important things to have. We want to make sure that what we are producing and providing to the state and municipalities is at the highest level, and the attention to detail and making sure that we are doing everything right 100% of the time, and finding any errors that there are out there. I think that it's important to make sure that we are accountable for what we're doing, and I think that the state statutes, are there for a reason, and that's what governs what, a lot of what gets done in there. I know that that's not all of it, but I think that that's important.
Thank you. Lisa Hart, the treasurer's position has many facets. What do you think are the most important?
I would say meeting deadlines, making sure things are done in a timely fashion and they are done correctly. Everything would need to be done accurately, expeditiously, and adhering to state and local guidelines, making sure everything is done in the treasurer's department that would be according to the procedures and policies that have been set in place within the guidelines of that job. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Christine Moe, the treasurer's position has many facets. What do you think are the most important?
Like the others said, accuracy and accountability for settlements with the local municipalities is very important. Making sure all deadlines are met on time, but also to be a vital resource to those clerks and treasurers with any data and technical assistance they may need and their procedures that they have to also do.
Thank you. We will take question number 9. We'll finish up here.
We have time.
This will be the last question before closing statements. You will have 5 minutes to make your closing statement to address anything that you wish to that you didn't feel was covered in the questions. First person to respond will be Ashley DeGrave. What procedures would you take to ensure financial integrity in the treasurer's office?
I think, again, taking some time to evaluate the processes and procedures that are in place to help make that possible. Obviously, having a deputy in that position helps with the accountability and making sure, there should be double checks. And I think between the treasurer and the deputy, there should be an immense amount of cross training. That's what that position, they're supposed to work off of each other. And that's where I think a lot of your accountability comes from. And I think that just being willing and able to present your information and have answers to all of the questions, helps with that financial integrity. And if, you're able to answer all of the questions and answer them accurately, I think that will show integrity, within the treasurer's department. And so I think, maybe there's a way that there can be more regular reporting, so that everyone is aware of what's happening. Again, that would all be things that could be evaluated and make sure that we have some good processes in place.
Thank you. Lisa Hart, what procedures would you take to ensure financial integrity in the treasurer's office?
Again, not being familiar with the systems that are in the office, you would definitely have to make sure you're on top of the knowledge that it would take to maintain those systems, have complete accuracy in there, and having someone that would help you, again, checks and balances to make sure what you're doing is proper, and the procedures that were in place would also be followed accurately. Yeah, that would be great. Yep.
Thank you. Christine Moe, what procedures would you take to ensure financial integrity in the treasurer's office?
Like the other said, checks and balancing system, also to have good record keeping. You need to, maybe months before you need to go back and look at something to figure out how you did it. It needs to have a file to go back, or if someone else needs to look at it, you need to have some type of folder or something. With the new system, we're able to create PDF versions onto the computer system itself and put it in. I've been putting them in a P drive. So anybody within my department, within the finance department, within the treasurer's office can pull up that file folder and look at those files and see how I got to the point that I did. It's also just been very important to work with our finance department. They're a great asset, and they will help when there is issues. They can help you make sure that we can overcome them.
Thank you. Ryan Schley, last word on the questions. What procedures would you take to ensure financial integrity in the treasurer's office?
Through the last couple of years working in the office, there are some things that need to have a little advancement to how they are done. Just better communication with some other departments when it comes to certain things. Like Chris had mentioned, maybe better methods of record keeping. Just making sure everything is in the same location is a big thing. The working with others and working with the finance department hand in hand to determine which is the best reports that they get their information off of. That's something we're still learning a few months into the new system, but we're trying our best, and hopefully that over time, and whoever does become the new treasurer, we can work together on becoming a well-working team, expanding on our current procedures and having a better system of checks and balances to further advance our position within the county.
Thank you. All right, candidates, you will now have up to 5 minutes each to make closing remarks. The first person to share closing remarks is Lisa Hart.
Thank you very much to the League of Women Voters for putting on this forum. I appreciate the time that you're giving me and all the other candidates to share about their knowledge of this position and reasons why they everybody feels that they are the best choice for this position. I do think that having great management skills is a real asset going into this position. Being able to be a independent thinker, being a great manager helps. Having written policies for private sector, I understand how important that is. Having followed direction in the military and my background in there, I also understand what it is to be a part of something bigger than yourself, and being part of the county system would be a wonderful position that I would enjoy very much, and I would look forward to giving my time, energy, and skills into making this position something that I feel would be a position that would make people happy that they voted me into. I do also enjoy giving back to the community. I've been on the Sturgeon Bay Visitor Center, Destination Sturgeon Bay Board for the last 6 years, and do enjoy volunteering. And I feel like that is another part of this, besides just the job. What you do in your off time is a reflection of who you are as a political person, aka somebody that was voted into office. So as an office holder, you're responsible for how you are in public as well as in private. And I would love the opportunity to be your next Door County Treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Let's see, next will be Christine Moe. Sorry.
I would also like to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this forum. I'm excited to embark on this new journey. I believe my skills, abilities, and passion would be best served as Door County Treasurer. I spoke earlier of consolidating the treasurer-related functions within the county to improve efficiency. I propose this because the real property listing office and the treasurer's office responsibilities are directly related. Both offices assist the public in finding ownership of a particular property, the property size, the assessed value, its fair market value, and its property taxes. Making all the data centrally located will provide better service for both the public and the local government. Both offices also require collaboration with a wide variety of people, including taxpayers, municipal, county, and state officials. Non-government clients like attorneys, banks, title companies, realtors, surveys, and mortgage companies. And I have proven that I have been able to do that over the past 25 years. And I will bring all this knowledge with me if I get elected as county treasurer. I also propose modernizing the technologies and procedures of the county treasurer's office. By placing the barcodes on the tax bills, and scanning a barcode will make the collection more accurate and efficient. I would also like to image the tax rolls back to the 1900s and make that available on the website. And then also make the website have more other information to the taxpayers for information that they need in their when they are paying their taxes. And also want to create a procedural manual of the duties, so as the next treasurer comes into the position, they are able to just basically walk in and be able to view that information and have an easier time moving into the position. In my opinion, the county treasurer should have certain traits and behaviors. The treasurer needs to be knowledgeable and have a basic understanding of the assessment and taxation process. The treasurer needs integrity and total honesty in all financial dealings and be held accountable for mistakes. The treasurer needs to show respect. When people feel they are being treated with respect, they are more willing to discuss matters and work calmly together. The treasurer needs good communication skills. They need to be a good listener and have the ability to communicate effectively with others. The treasurer needs to have resolve and vision, but at the same time be humble. I believe the treasurer needs to have compassion. Taxpayers may need help in setting up a payment plan to meet their tax obligation, or assistance in finding resources to help keep them in their home. These are traits and behaviors I possess and I will bring to the position. If there's anything I want you to take away from tonight's forum, is that if you were looking for experience and knowledge, I am your candidate. I believe the skills I have developed over the last 25 years will be a huge advantage in successfully completing the daily tasks and will allow me to transition into the role relatively quickly. I am proud of my work for the last 33 years as an employee of the county. I am committed to Door County and will execute the duties with the utmost conscientiousness, collaboration, and ethical behavior. I will make it my mission to improve the treasurer's office and to better serve the taxpayers of Door County. Running for the public office is a great challenge, but you can't reach the reward without the challenge. Your vote will make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Ryan Schley.
Hello, I would also like to thank the League of Women Voters for putting on this forum, as well as any individuals who may watch or listen to this after it's posted. I feel that I would make a great candidate for the treasurer because of my last 3.5 years working with Jay Zahn. I have come to learn a lot of things while working in the office through the last couple of years. There are a few things that if I was elected treasurer, I would implement some changes as well as improve upon efficiencies of certain tasks. I would also like to create more procedural guides on how to do all of the tasks that are up to date in our new system. Things that are done on a yearly basis or even a daily basis that you may come to find out was certain circumstance where it's just you're not having a good day and you're like, I can't remember how to do this, and you can go back to this procedure and figure out how to do a simple step that you may just have forgotten that certain day. That would be probably my top priority, would be to create procedural manuals for everything that we do in the office. Just attention to detail, accuracy, respect to all patrons that visit the office to come in to pay their taxes. They are basic. If you want to consider it, we're all family who live in the county, and we're just there to help each other. And being treasurer, I would feel that would be one of my top priorities, would to be make everybody feel welcome when they come into the office, or help them with any problems that they may have. I feel that I am very qualified for the position with my current working with Jay, as well as my accounting degree that I have attained in the past. Just once again, thank you for the time, and please vote.
Thank you. Ashley DeGrave.
I would also like to thank the League of Women Voters for taking the time to arrange this great forum. The COVID-19 situation has made my campaigning opportunities and exposure quite difficult and a bit more different than in past elections. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to get my qualifications out to the voters of Door County. I've taken time to gather information about the responsibilities of the Treasurer's Office. Before deciding to run for treasurer, I spoke with management in the county to discuss the roles and duties in that office. If elected, I intend to be a full-time working county treasurer, and I'll make sure that my time is spent utilizing our taxpayers' dollars to their full potential. If elected, I will evaluate the policies, procedures, staffing, and technology needs of the office. I'll review the state and local statutes to confirm all the necessary duties outlined in those statutes are being performed in the office at the highest and most cost-effective manner for our taxpayers. Working in the Technology Services Department has allowed me to get exposure to a lot of different departments, their operations, and their various softwares. I've assisted in managing the project budget for many of our department softwares, including the most recent land records and tax collection software upgrade. I feel confident that I can learn the new software in the office very easily and quickly. As an elected official, and even as just a general employee of the county, we need to remember that we're here to serve our constituents. I pledge to consistently be evaluating our policies and procedures and budgets to make sure that we're using everyone's tax dollars in the most efficient way. I'm committed to accountability and stability in the financial record keeping of the county and in the collection and processing of tax payments. I look forward to the opportunity to serve this community, and I would greatly appreciate your vote on August 11th.
Thank you, Ashley. Well, we all made it through this Zoom forum. I want to give a shout out to Dan. He worked very hard to put all this together and make sure it came off well. So we appreciate Dan as a good League of Women Voter member, board member.
The only one with a beard, right?
The only one with the beard.
Yeah. And I want to thank the candidates for making it so easy.
Good.
And Pat and Shirley and Judy for the behind the scenes. It wouldn't have happened without them. So thank you all, and especially candidates.
Thank you, candidates, for being willing to run for office, especially these days. That's no easy thing sometimes. Well, thank you for being willing to run and to serve if elected. So as a reminder to our viewers, the partisan primary, which will include the treasurer, will be August 11th. A recording of this forum will be made available to the public on the League of Women Voter Door County's website. So it's all one word, League of Women Voters doorcounty.org. And on the League of Women Voters Facebook page. So like us on Facebook. Thank you for watching this forum and to learn about the candidates for Door County Treasurer, sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Door County. Thanks and good night.
Thank you all.